Hey everyone, this is Mike Tarallo with Qlik, and in this video I will give you a product tour of Qlik Sense Enterprise on Qlik Cloud Services. Now, to quickly recap, Qlik Sense Enterprise on Qlik Cloud Services is just one of many technologies within our new multi-cloud elastic scaling architecture, making Qlik Sense Enterprise available as a hosted SaaS offering, giving you the same benefits of Qlik Sense Enterprise at cloud scale without the need to manage any infrastructure. Okay, so to start, we're going to navigate to the Qlik Sense Hub, and I'm going to do so by clicking this shortcut here. And you can see it will redirect me to a single sign-on environment. So we've integrated this platform with a range of common sign-on providers that enterprises use. And now you can see that we've been brought into the hub. So for this demonstration, I'm using a product marketing demo tenant, which is available in the United States. However, depending on where you are located, we have 3 regions for customers to choose, those being US, Europe, and Asia. And please note, as an aside, everything that I'm going to show you is also available on Qlik Sense Enterprise on Kubernetes as well, pretty much giving you more choice on how and where to deploy the software in a cloud vendor of your choice. So I'm in the hub, and as is common with many centralized landing pages, the hub is the starting point where most users are going to begin using Qlik Sense. So we've taken a fresh approach at delivering content to users along with a modern paradigm to allow users freedom, but at the same time gives IT control when applying governance. So let's look around at what we can do here. So we can simply see sections like recently added apps. These are apps that have been added by everybody. I can also see my recent favorites, as well as something new named collections. So at this point, I could choose a particular app and I can specify it as my favorite. That way it's immediately available for me within that section the next time I access or log into the hub. I'm also able to add any particular application to what we refer to as a collection. Using collections allows us to group applications that are relevant to our own personal preference. So here I'm just going to click on the plus symbol for this particular app. And here you can see I have a number of different collections. Collections are like groupings of the apps. I'm just going to add it to that collection. Okay, once we close this and we scroll down, you can see now I have my recently added collections and we've added that new app to that collection. So if you have a lot of applications in your deployment, as the user you can focus on things that matter to you most. Now if I just select an app such as Apex Global Operations 2019, all the navigation menus, analyzing data, is exactly the same as if this was on a traditional Qlik Sense Enterprise deployment for Windows. For this next section, it should be rather familiar to you. However, I'm going to step you through the process quickly just to show you what different options are available and how the interface looks. In this case, we're going to create some content. Now, you'll notice that we are in the Explore section of the menu, and there's a context area here to select spaces. We'll touch on that in a bit. You'll see there's a Create button in the upper right. And here I have the option to create an app from scratch where we create our sheets, add our data, etc. Or I can upload an existing app, such as a QVF file from Qlik Sense Desktop or some other system. Here I'll just click Create App, and we'll give our app a name, and we can add a description. We can choose our space. Again, I'll touch on that in a little bit, as well as add tags to ease in searching when looking for the apps. So clicking Create basically creates that shell, if you will, that template that we're now going to add data to, and you can see it's available here. We select that app, and the next thing we need to do is add data. Now for this example, you'll notice that we have a number of different cloud-based connectivity sources. In addition to this, we have other web connectors available for people to use, such as Facebook, Twitter, Google Analytics, etc., basically adding more cloud-based data sources. Now for my example, I'll use Google BigQuery, but I have a connector here already set up. So I'm just going to choose that connector. And here we have a Getting Started table. And then we have our columns and all of our data. And this basically has our who, what, where, and when, our measures, our dimensions, etc. Now I'm going to be adding some more data to this app. So for this example here, I'm just going to uncheck category name, as we're not going to use it for this simple example. And then I'll click Add Data. So now the data is being added directly from my Google BigQuery environment directly into this Qlik Sense app. Okay, we can click Close, and we can use the power of our visual insights basically to generate some insights on the fly, using, again, the power of the cognitive engine, looking at all of our fields and our values and making suggestions and recommendations on the best visualizations that might be the most significant for our analysis. In this case here, I could simply add, let's say, these two to the sheets. So now that we have added those particular visualizations to the sheets, we can click on our edit mode, and you can see we have all of the properties and the panels like we've had in the past with another edition of Qlik Sense. Now we're going to add some more data to this, and you're going to simply see me take data from my local environment. In this case here, I'm just going to go into my File Explorer, go to my data folder, and I have something here called Smart Sales, and I have my categories here in the form of Excel. I'm just going to grab that and drop it right on top of the canvas. And you're going to see how smart the product is to automatically recognize the sheets within that particular Excel spreadsheet, and it's going to bring me to an interface where I can visually prepare that data. Now, to keep it simple here, we have two tables now, our original Getting Started from Google BigQuery, and then our Categories table that has the category ID, name, description, as well as a link. So here I can just link these two together like this, or I can choose to use the recommendations as well if I choose to pull these apart, and then select the recommendation link if there was multiple tables, etc. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We have plenty of video content on this. It's very similar to what you've seen in the past. This is, again, just to show you that all of these data preparation capabilities are also available in this edition of the Qlik Sense Enterprise on Qlik Cloud Services. So now we can load that data. Okay, edit the sheet. We can go back into our visual insights, and we can generate content. And this time I can choose my category name and, for example, my sales figures, and I could add this bar chart to my sheet as well. So we have a piece of content, and just to add on this a little bit more, you'll notice that we also have our visualization extension bundles, including our dashboard bundles included in here as well. So you could add some visual richness and interactivity to your apps. So maybe just for argument's sake, let's go into our visualization bundle, and let's take a Sankey chart. Let's add our category name, and let's add our country, and select sales. And now we have our Sankey chart as well. So in addition to the standard visualizations, we also have our supported extension capabilities available for you. It's important to note that this is Qlik Sense Enterprise on Qlik Cloud Services, but if you chose to use Qlik Sense Enterprise on Kubernetes, where you have more control, installing this on a public or private cloud of your choice, you also will be able to install custom extension objects as well, because you're in control of that environment. Okay, so we have our app created, and I think what we'll do here is let's just add a thumbnail to this app so we can identify it in the hub. And what I'm going to do here is just navigate to a directory on my local computer and just select an icon, and that basically identifies this app. So just a quick example to show you that we really have the full range of Qlik Sense capabilities available to run from the cloud offering. There aren't any restrictions on functionality. So we're going to head back over to the hub now. And there's our app. And now that we've created this, the next thing we might want to do is share it with other people. And so here's where we've added some of the new capabilities that give the user more freedom, but also have good control and governance within the platform. Okay, so for the app that I just created, I can click this button here and simply share it. And I could choose to share this with everyone if I wanted to make the app available to everyone who has access to the system, or I could share it with individual users that I have available from our directory. Now, in addition to sharing, I might want to keep this data up to date on a schedule that I choose, and you can see here we have an option to schedule the reload. We can activate it, and then we can choose an interval and a date and a time period. And as you know, data is refreshed on a periodic basis that you choose to bring in the latest content into your app. The main point here is that we're still within the same interface performing these tasks, and we're not going out to a separate management console. Simply trying to make it easier so any user can really create and work with content in their organization, providing their IT team allows them to do so. So how else can we share? So we've created content that is personal, and we were able to share it with an individual user, but those are things that belong to us. The next thing is to be able to work on content with other people. So we've started to add a concept called spaces. And spaces can be used in two ways. They can be used as a way for teams to work together on collaborative content, or they can be used as a way to apply governance and control to get content to lots of people. So we're going to work with what I have here called a shared space. So I'm going to navigate to my Explore menu, and you can see the context menu that shows the various spaces. This is all of the spaces and all of the apps combined within those spaces. If I select personal, these are the ones that I have created or worked in my environment. You can see here's the one we just created. And then there's some other spaces that have been shared with me, owned by other people. And in this case, I have a space called sales. And we have one app. And this space is essentially a security boundary as well as a way of organizing content. So for this space, we can manage members. And you can see here, I'm the owner. And I could basically look for and start adding additional users. Now, once the users are added, I can specify individual rights, such as Chuck can view, Denise can edit, and Joe is an admin of this particular space. A user who's an admin can also invite new users to the space. So what this means is you can do full team-based collaboration, working on the same set of content at the same time using a SaaS-based platform, which is a compelling way for groups of users to work on content at the same time. Okay, so to wrap this up, so far you've seen that we have given a lot of control capabilities through the main hub experience. But you're still going to need some more advanced administration and management. So I'm going to switch over very quickly to the management console. And at this point here, I'm just going to type in the word console in the URL. And this is our cloud management console. It has a little bit less scope initially because most of that functionality so far, as you've seen, has been pushed into the hub. So we expect only administrators to use this environment for the most part. However, you can still do things such as manage licenses. I can take a look at the users and see what their permissions are. I could also manage those spaces that we created in the hub. And I could also look at the schedules for the reloads. And there's the one we set up for the sales dashboard. And one other useful thing that we've added, you can see that there is this option for events. And we thought this would be great as a way to track events that occur in the environment. So it'll show you users that have logged in, when they've opened a particular application, when they perform particular activities. So you're always able to keep track and find any activity from a particular user in an environment. Okay, so that is what is currently available now in both Qlik Sense Enterprise on Qlik Cloud Services, as well as Qlik Sense Enterprise on Kubernetes. Stay tuned as we roll out more capabilities and enhancements in the coming weeks. And if you'd like to learn more, subscribe to our Qlik Insider webinar series, where we'll be talking about this and other features that are available in the Qlik Sense April 2019 release. Links for this event and other resources will be in the description where this video is posted. Please leave your questions or comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for your time, guys. Take care.